Hello and welcome to Jazz Tonight. I'm Michael Jacobi, executive producer of Jazz on the Plazz and host of Raising the Standards on KSCO Radio in Santa Cruz. Welcome to our, sixth week, I guess. We still got a couple of weeks left of Jazz on the Plazz and our tribute to Brubeck. With me today, performing tonight, is a new friend, Sammy Miller. Hello, Sammy.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Tough crowd.
Sammy, yeah, it is. I'm going to give you my usual disclaimer. By the time you see this, he'll be long gone. But he's here tonight with the Congregation, which is your group that we're going to talk about in a minute. But first, Benny Benack was here a couple of weeks ago, and you're better than him, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm much better. Well, yeah, I'm better than I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, we're delighted that you're here.
Just for the people that have been seeing stuff like Benny I'll be able to...
Benny didn't trash you, though.
No, he's a sweet guy.
He is a sweet guy. Well, he did some bigger celebrities, but not you. But he's a good guy. First of all, welcome. And I got to tell you, I have not seen you perform, but I've heard of a lot of your stuff. And I can sum up your performances in a single word: joyous. What you guys do is such great fun and wonderful music.
Thank you.
Tell me how Sammy Miller put the Congregation together.
I moved to New York City when I was 18 years old.
From where?
From Los Angeles. I'm one of five, so I grew up playing a lot.
There are five Sammy Millers?
There are five. I'm one of five Millers.
Okay.
We grew up playing in a family band, and I just got hooked on the sounds of jazz when I was about 10, 11 years old. Like a lot of middle school boys, that's what I was into.
Now, were you a drummer from the beginning?
Drummer since I was 5 years old.
Okay.
And so as I got into jazz, I got obsessed with like the first generation of jazz musicians. I got obsessed with Louis Armstrong, I got obsessed with like Duke Ellington, I got obsessed with Fats Waller, and that was the music that always caught my ear. Both, the word used, joy is really the thing, because there's the music part of it, the virtuosity, but the way they made you feel, how much energy they put into making it a positive experience for their audience. And so I fast forward to getting to New York, going to Juilliard, and I felt like the thing about music that I didn't see was that part of it, the joy.
Explain to me about how Juilliard works. I mean, you're obviously a music major, but is there categories? I mean, can you go as a drum major?
Drum
major. That'd be cool. You get a big hat and walk around?
So I read at a fourth grade level.
Yeah.
and I don't write. But no, I was in the jazz program there.
Yeah.
So that's all we did. I went to an arts high school in LA. I mean, since I got the itch of this thing, whatever it is that we do, that's all I want to do. All I want to do is play, teach, be surrounded by it.
Now, you referenced Ellington and Lewis, influenced by Krupa and Chick Webb and Buddy Rich and those
same
people?
Thing, that first generation, something in the way they played, they play in a way that's not about themselves.
Yeah.
I have to say, and then as the music, people get better and better at their instruments, it gets a little bit more complicated. You get more ego, but that first generation, they were like basically incredible virtuosos who were dance bands.
Well, I was just going to say, those early guys came out of big bands.
Yeah.
Is that a lot different than being a jazz drummer?
All the skills. If you play big band well, you have all the skills you need. I think to be a great musician.
All right. So you moved to New York when you were 18.
18, yeah.
Okay, that was to go to school.
Yeah.
All right, and then you just stayed there. I mean, were you going there? Were you saying, "I want to learn, I want to play, and I want to do this professionally"?
I was going there because people knew a lot more about it there than.
But I mean, was your end goal?
Oh, totally.
Okay.
To be, and I was already working when the time I was in high school. I was already performing professionally in Los Angeles. Some great musicians. We were actually just talking about them today while we ate hummus. Yeah. Kevin Canner, this drummer, who's a great drummer, started recommending me for work, and Jeff Hamilton was throwing work my way. I mean, I was really fortunate, and fortunate that these people gave me opportunities, but also like, you don't know what a monster, like obsessive little dude I was about this music. Yeah. Like you bring up Chick Webb, every Chick Webb record I could find, I would go to the library, I pirated every single album at their library.
Yeah.
I didn't pay, and I know I didn't pay for a single one. I have everything from the Palos Verdes library that you can get in jazz. I was like 9, 10, not 10, a little older, 12 years old. So I wasn't on Napster stealing. I was stealing the good old fashioned.
That's fine. If you're stealing vintage stuff, it's all right. But it's interesting being a lead of a group as a drummer is not that common.
Yeah.
But you also sing.
Yeah, but so the thing that, if there were people, I mean, I would play with other people and I had so many ideas about how I thought a show should be constructed. So if everyone was doing it better than me, I would just hang in the back. Yeah. But since a young age, I was like, I think I can.
But you're good.
I think I have a way to do this. Yeah, I was very into jazz and I was very into stand-up comedy. That's the other thing about the stuff.
I did stand-up for a while.
When you were.
I liked eating better than performing, so I got out of the business.
Oh, when you were.
Yeah, when I was in my early 20s. Yeah.
Yeah, I just as a form. So
I'll tell you a real quick aside. I judged a comedy contest and Robin Williams was in it and he didn't win.
Because
I remember him saying to me, I guess I'm not a very
you're not the
judge.
best, yeah.
Hey, so 18, New York, an epiphany, but you're from a big town, you're from LA.
I'm from the suburbs. I mean, really, the boonies.
But New York, you were out.
Terrible place. I actually don't like it.
You were out all the time.
No, I'm serious. I don't.
They speak well of you.
No, I don't like. I don't think it's. Everywhere's the same. I just went there because there's a lot of musicians I could learn from.
Well, I was going to say the jazz scene is
yeah. That's why I went there, and the people I brought here tonight, like the pianist David Leinard. They don't make Dave Leinards. They don't grow on trees. Okay. I had to go to New York to find David Leinard.
And what's with you, and the folks who are with you tonight, are part of the original congregation?
Yeah, we got some surviving members.
Okay.
Yeah, we stick together. All
right, and then getting back to the question from about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, which one?
How did the congregation come together?
Sure. Okay, so I was...
Well, we opened the church doors.
So, no. So I started playing... so you brought up the idea of not wanting to starve. I moved to New York, and a lot of people told me it's impossible to make a living, and I wanted to play like music that was through composed, 6 horns, like John Kirby or big band, like to have the sensibility of a big band. I said, I'm not gonna be able to no one's gonna help me do this. So I started doing concerts at like lofts. I started playing at wine bars for just wine, even though I was underage. I mean, I really started trying to book my own shows.
Yeah.
And so the congregation, we were playing all these other places. So by the time we were playing at like Jazz Lincoln Center, we got in residence there, we really had a perspective. And the things I brought were joy. We were like trying to play, how can you play this music for people who don't already like it?
Yeah. Well, and how do you go about, did you go out and say, I need a tenor, I need a trombone, or
people, there were people I was looking for.
Yeah.
I wanted people who were like, you bring up Ben Flox, who's from here, people who are comfortable getting weird, like not just improvising in the music, but improvising in space. Like, what are the other things we can do? We've built pieces where people are wearing costumes. We've done pyramid. I'm not just. This sounds like a joke, and you'll see some of it tonight. But I really wanted it to be like more like a troupe than a cool button-up band. That's not. We're losing audiences by
that juggling thing working out for you.
Yeah, I do. I juggle. You have to stick around for that.
So. Okay, you get that together, and now you're in your early 20s, I take it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we just toured like a rock and roll band all over. We'd go Umbria Jazz, we'd go to Europe for a month, we'd go across the country for 200 days a year. We were playing over 200 gigs a year.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, you said you have the reading level of a 4th grader.
Yeah.
But do you write music?
Yeah, that.
Oh, so that you can do.
I'm gifted. Yeah, I'm like Mozart. So it's like Mozart, me.
Could Mozart read?
He also read at a 4th grade level.
Yeah, he didn't hear well either.
Who was the best interview?
Best interview? It wasn't Benny Benack.
Who was the best one so far?
Mose Allison.
Oh, come on, don't put me next to Mo.
Mose.
He's got a big yeah. He's
him?
Insecure.
Oh, and you're. Well, wait a minute, I can't say.
Mose, I love Mose.
I had Mose here 4 times, and I just love him. What a sweet man. But, no, Mose, there's a great, Mose, somebody called him and said, now, you're the first black man to graduate from the University of Mississippi. He says, you might want to meet me. And the Who thought he was black because he was such a great blues singer. But Mose was wonderful. And I'll tell you who else was cool. Ramsey we had here was cool. And who am I thinking that opened before Hendrix at Monterey Jazz, the guitar player. Oh, I'll think of his name, but Booker T.
Oh, wow.
And he was totally hip. He was very cool. But you're good.
Oh, Moses is amazing.
That having been said, we're going to be back with Sammy Miller in just a second. I want to take a moment to thank our sponsors, the Willow Street family of restaurants, Willow Street Wood-Fired Pizza, Main Street Burgers, and Willow Street Pizza and Tap Room in Willow Glen. So let's hear a word from them, and we'll be back for Jazz Tonight. Back to Jazz Tonight. We're going to take a moment to get to know our sponsor, the Willow Street family of restaurants, which of course includes Willow Street Los Gatos, here in Main Street Burgers. With us, Ed Rathman, the principal owner. Hello, Edward.
Hi, Michael.
It's good to see you, and great burger place, Main Street, which is, I mean, you had Willow Street for what, 15, 20 years before you opened Main Street?
Yeah, 12, 15 years, something like that.
And then and Main Street is right on the corner.
Right on the corner.
A hop, skip, and a burger.
We like to think the best corner in Los Gatos.
We like to think that as well. So how did that all come together? Now now every corner has a burger place.
It does.
But there was a time.
There was a time, we've been open 17 years, where there weren't any, quote, gourmet burger places around. I mean, you had McDonald's, you had Burger King, but you didn't really have high quality, little more pricey than McDonald's, but just really good quality burgers where people actually thought of the bun and the meat and the quality involved in putting it together.
Now, restaurants like Gott's, places like that, was that Napa originally?
There was one in Napa at the time, yeah.
And that was it. And then I think there might have been a couple of places in the city.
Maybe some places in the city, but nowhere in the valley here.
So when you say think about the meat and think about the bun, I hate the word Angus, but you do.
Yeah, we do Angus, sourced, really quality, natural beef.
Was it Neiman Ranch? You still do that?
No, we used to, but we have a similar quality one now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you also, but it's like McDonald's says, give me the meat, give me some tomatoes. I mean, you have the same attention to detail where you get the tomatoes from, where you get your lettuce from.
Yeah, and the combination of putting it together. I mean, sometimes, you'll have a burger and it just doesn't work. I mean, the ingredients are good, but the parts, some of the parts add up to nothing special. Yeah. And we spend a lot of time, thinking about the burgers we create and tasting them and making sure people are going to like them.
Full disclosure, I do some marketing for you guys, and the amount of time you spend on finding the right bun is incredible.
Yeah.
But it makes such a difference.
Yeah, and we also have the classic complement of handmade milkshakes that most people don't do anymore. Real ice cream, milk in a blender. It's a lot of work and takes a lot of time, but boy, they're delicious.
And I should also send my kudos to you both for Main Street and for Willow Street, where so many restaurants, their menus are written in stone, they're chiseled and don't change. You guys are constantly evolving, and I admire that.
I kind of feel like if you don't keep moving forward and trying new things, you're going to sink. And we keep trying to evolve and improve what we're doing.
Main Street Burgers, simply put, the better burger. Thank you, Eddie.
Thanks, Mike.
Welcome back to Jazz Tonight, continuing our conversation with Sammy Miller of Sammy Miller and the Congregation fame. You mentioned Umbria. You guys have got a pretty good resume. Umbria, you've done Monterey Jazz.
Yeah.
You've done Newport.
Yeah.
You did the White House.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me about that.
The White House.
Tell me it was with Obama.
Yeah, it was Michelle Obama. It was with Mrs. Obama. They did a jazz day. They were into honoring jazz, which was very cool. And they did this very cool day with a bunch of musicians, Winton, Branford, Paquito de Rivera, in the East Wing, yeah. And we played, and it was gorgeous.
Did you meet the man?
No, I didn't. Her, I prefer. Yeah. I'm a ladies man.
Branford and I play golf together.
How is he?
He's a pretty good stick. Good guy.
Really?
Yeah, he's a good guy. We played 3 or 4 times. What?
He's a good player.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Geez, I want people to say about me.
I do this show called Raising the Standards, and they're obviously standard tunes. And I asked Branford once, He said, "Why don't you have me on your show?" I said, "Why don't you record a standard?" He goes, "That's a good point." So what? So you're still doing 200 dates a year?
No.
No, you're getting married.
I'm getting married.
Congratulations! I'll cut down the number of dates.
Yeah, no. I was great. Like, those bands again. I like a little bit idealize the time when musicians were like on the bus, just going like every day, learning from the mistakes of the last night, and knowing that was maybe a finite period. I thought it really helped me learn to play and to be with people, to like really make this band feel much tighter than just musicians.
Well, it's the old advice to comedians: go out and perform.
Yeah,
that's what you have to do.
Yeah,
and it's the same thing with musicians.
Oh, we put our hours. Yeah, we put a lot of hours in.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. What do you got on your bucket list? You're a young man,
for
but
playing?
I mean, yeah.
Well, now I did this Los Gatos Jazz on the Plazz. I mean,
that is so good.
So that.
You know what's interesting? The synchronicity that we both fulfilled a bit of our bucket list.
Yeah.
Now that I've interviewed you.
No, really. I don't. What I like doing, all that we were talking. I kid. It's gonna sound like I'm. It's gonna sound. You know what? It's gonna sound. You're not gonna believe me, anyways. But I'm gonna be sincere. I'm gonna.
Yo, look at the camera. That's how sincere you are.
Zoom in. No.
Yeah.
No, I want to. No, really.
We don't do zoom.
I've played a lot of places. All of my favorite memories are places I didn't expect.
Yeah.
Like, had no. Like, I spent a week in Opelika, Alabama. I've spent time in McAllen, Texas. I don't know. I'm not into like Newport or the White. Like, I really think it's.
That's funny because it's like seeing minor league baseball. It's like going to little towns that you wouldn't expect, and the people will embrace you.
You just want a good audience.
The food is spectacular.
Yeah, good audience, good food.
That's what
you have the blue
about.
bottle coffee. What else does a boy like me want? I'm a simple boy. I just
You're
need a cortado.
He was a quiet man. He kept to himself. But you do, for instance, the video that I did on my liner notes thing was Meet Me in Memphis.
Yeah.
And that's obviously a promotional video you did for Telluride.
Yeah.
Is that a cool festival? Because everybody knows Telluride for movies.
Oh, very cool. That's another one where I didn't really know anything.
I didn't know they did a jazz series until I saw your deal.
Such a cool place. They had the oxygen on the side of the stage for people that couldn't handle the air altitude. But
Really?
I could. I was very tough. They said they'd never seen someone so tough at that altitude.
Yeah, they probably. Well, Banak was using the oxygen.
Yeah, of course. Probably here. He
needed oxygen. We had 911 speed dial.
He's a great trumpet player.
So where do you see yourself in 20 years? I mean, doing the same
I'll be on
thing?
parole. I'll be on parole.
Well, is it that long? This is why we can't show his feet. He's wearing an ankle bracelet. But that's good. I'm glad.
Years,
if that doesn't go off during the show, I hope.
Doing what I'm doing, just being I don't know, it doesn't matter if it's like all in one play. I just want to be around the music. It makes me feel better, joy. It's the one thing I get to do that I know I help all the people. All the other things I'm not sure that I do. I don't know if I can help. I can make people's life a little more fun.
Yeah.
As I look at them and they're like, no. No, really, this is what I'm here to do. The man upstairs
God
told
bless
me.
you for it. That is good. How many CDs have you got? Did you bring some, by the way?
I brought some, yeah.
So you'll sell them to people?
Well, I was going to give you one.
Well, that's very kind of you. Do you have an 8-track?
Yeah.
I've got an older car. Actually, CDs have reached that point. Benny was
you have
doing it? CDs. Does anybody know what these are anymore?
Oh, did you have a CD in your CD player?
Yeah. I have a CD in my CD player. And one in my
What do you do
car.
before the show? Do you stream stuff or do you do it on CD?
No, I do it on CD. I make everybody send me a hard copy.
Why?
Because I want the 2,000 CD library. Because I've got to leave something in my estate. But I digress. So, how many CDs do you have? Not that you brought here. How many?
Yeah. We've done 3 CDs.
Okay.
We actually just recorded with the big band. I'm really excited. We'll bring the whole big band here next time. We
I'd
just
like
recorded live at Lincoln Center.
I like that. Did we just cut a deal? There's a presumptive close if I've ever.
Yeah,
heard
no,
one.
it's good.
What? So people want to buy CDs.
Yeah.
Since you will already gone by the time they see this show.
Yeah, they won't be.
Could
Yeah,
you-
they'll be sold out. You can, but you can go to my website, Sammy Miller Congregation. If you can't spell it, you don't deserve to be on the site. Sammy
Said
Miller
the man with a 4th grade education.
Congregation.com.
All right, and you'll sign them?
I'll do whatever you want.
Would you sign him Lou Gehrig?
Well, I'll do whatever. Wait, what?
Could you sign him Lou Gehrig? That'd be really cool.
Oh, sure.
Sure. Okay, that's nice.
I'll sign whatever.
I'm
This is
delighted
so
to have you
beautiful.
here.
I'm so. Thank you for having
And
me.
I'm excited to see you tonight. And if anybody sees this show, find me as I'm having a cup of coffee and say, how was it? And I'll tell you it's going to be great. And you know who it's going to be better than? Benny Benack. Thank you, buddy. Sammy Miller. Don't have my hand out here by itself. Take care of yourself.
I just was celebrating everything you said.
That's Jazz Tonight for this week. As always, thanks to good folks at the Willow Street family of restaurant. Until next week, when we go to week 7 in the Brubeck Brothers, I'm Jacobi. I'll see you soon. So we're here on the set of Jazz Tonight, Jacobi with you, and we wanted to take a minute to thank our sponsors, the Willow Street family of restaurants, and to get to know them a bit. Now we all know them, but perhaps what you don't know, this is the principal owner, Ed Rathman. Hello, Eddie.
Nice to see you, Mike.
Good to see you. It's like, it's my favorite restaurant in town. First of all, Willow Street, you guys are such an icon in Los Gatos. You've and such an integral part of the community. And on behalf of the community and the fundraising people in this town, I want to thank you publicly in front of God and everyone, who's a big fan, by the way. That having been said, what year did you open here?
1993.
So you opened the year before the World Cup.
Yeah, and it kind of put us on the map. Really
My
did.
God, I remember you couldn't cross the street. Behind us, of course, is Willow Street. You couldn't cross the street from Willow Street to Hannigan's.
No, it was wall-to-wall people, and the Brazilians were wonderful. It really was one big party for 3 or 4
How many
nights.
of your servers were proposed to? A lot. Well, you know, it's amazing. Someone said to me once the difference between Americans and Brazilians, when Americans get drunk, they riot. When Brazilians get drunk, they party.
That's true. One Brazilian said to me, "You Americans say no, no, no.
Yeah,
Us Brazilians say yes, yes, yes."
So, as you say, that kind of puts you on the map. You had your original location is in Willow Glen.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
And what was your, you know, when you started Willow Glen, I guess 91, and what was the philosophy? Obviously, there was a California Pizza Kitchen existed.
Well,
what were you looking to do?
You know, to be honest, that we saw their success and it was inspiring, but I had come from more of a fine dining background, and I wanted to bring some of the benefits of fine dining down to a little bit casual dining atmosphere. And I didn't want white tablecloths, didn't want candles, and I just wanted really good food at reasonable prices.
So you run into somebody at a party, you got like 15 seconds to describe Willow Street. How do you do it?
Great wood-fired pizza, pasta, salads, nice atmosphere, very casual dining, great service, fun atmosphere.
Wow, 15 seconds. That's good. Willow Street wood-fired pizza and Main Street Burgers, the Willow Street family of restaurants. And we're so thankful that they're sponsoring Jazz Tonight.